No small s self is big S self. No small m me is big M me. Big S self has nothing to do with small s self. Big M-E, so big M me, has nothing to do with small m me. Just now, I was pouring out a glass of ginger and I was making mind. The more mind we make, the less we are big S self. If we keep creating mind, then we are doing less and less, or being less and less, capital M, me. Our true self, represented by the open hand disposition, has nothing whatsoever to do with the clenched fist disposition. This is alien to this. This is separation from this. This is all about contracting, all about self, small s self, selfishness, me, small m me. All about I must get this right. I must do this. I mustn't do that. The body, mind, and all of its tensions and knots are secondary, have nothing whatsoever to do with the open hand disposition. When we can be simply intimate with whatever we're doing, where we're holding, just intimate, no separation whatsoever. By the way, this is delicious, Moroccan style hummus. When we can read without mind, let's see what Ishtar opens up to today. Ishtar. The body exists in a sea of gas. It also exists in a sea of energy. It exists in a sea of elements of all kinds. Although you can refer to your mind, it is not just a something. It is part of a multi-planned sphere of forces, chemical, biochemical, molecular, energetic, that proceed in a vast, unlimited sphere. There is no separate breath. Breath occurs within the sea of gas. There is no separate energy. There is one energy which is conducted somehow or other in some sort of who knows what sea, and which is not separate from it. So where is the body? Where does it begin? What makes it a thee anyway? Examine it alive and then consider the complexity of so-called it. All its parts function in patterns in relationship to one another, in opposition to one another, independent of one another. The so-called body is full of organisms. How does it get to be an I? It is just a conjunction of forces, and they conjoin in different ways, out here, out here, out here. Where is the I? Where is the body? Where are all the separate things you are presuming in your habits of mind? Is there a reality that corresponds to the reality in the mind, so-called that you think and say? Does that mind reality otherwise exist? Does the world your speech presumes exist? Or is it just a mental construct, a presumption, divorced, in fact, from reality? The world that you presume in the forms of your thinking does not exist apart from your thinking. When you speak, you think you are referring to the world. You do not think you are just talking about your talk. You presume you are talking about a larger reality. In fact, however, it seems that you are not talking about a larger reality. You just presume you are. The larger reality is utterly unlike what you think. Where does it all come from? It does not come from the world or from reality. Where does it come from? Since you do not have the ability to live in the world as it actually is, do you oblige yourself to invent another one? Examine it. Does this make sense to the rest of you? Consider, then, the reality that your thoughts presume. Does that reality exist apart from your thoughts? And so on. The mind deceives us. The mind is a trickster. Of course, I can think about this glass, but I'm not really thinking about it. I can see the difference. I can see the smears. I can see a little drop of water in there. I don't have to think about it. I simply see, observe, be the witness. One doesn't have to create mind. We do not need to create mind. The open hand does not create mind. The open hand is the body-mind without contraction. The disposition is without contraction, without thought. I can think, I wonder what shall I have? What shall I have for supper today? What shall I wear today? That is the open hand thinking. There's no contraction there. It's totally different to being in this enwrapped position of creating an illusion, creating an image in your head. This contraction is not necessary. To simply see and allow your hands to do. So you see the glass and you reach out for the glass. You're allowing your hand to do that. You don't need to contract over it. So an other walks in the room. Why contract? Why do we contract? It's not necessary. It really is not necessary. To live in an embracing disposition is love, happiness, joy, delight, intimacy. It's our true capital S self. It's not ours anyway. It is just what it is. Why make mind of it? I could think, from the open hand disposition, I wonder who made this. I wonder which firm, manufacturer, made this glass. I could think, how is it made? How did that happen? How did this little design on the bottom happen? How was that created? We can consider without adding contraction. We do not need to add contraction to the conditions of life, to our activities. That's when it becomes a mystery, because we do not know. This disposition does not know anything. I can say, I know this is a hand, but the disposition itself does not know it's a hand. The spoon does not know what it's going to pick up next. It's a spoon going into a bag of flour. It's a spoon going into a bag of sugar. It's the spoon going to go into your bowl and then into your mouth. The spoon itself does not know. Consciousness itself does not know. That which we are does not know. You might ask, well, what does know? The faculty of mind knows. Our faculties are free. The faculty of attention is free to wander. It doesn't belong anywhere. It's not set in concrete. The faculty of attention, of mind, is free to wander from here to there. The faculty of feeling is free. There's no contraction. When it's allowed to be free, it's full, it's just energy. Life, the life force. There's none of this, I feel anxious, scared, fearful, that kind of contracted, that's contraction, that's contracting feeling. It's not necessary. The objects around here, the chair, the lamp, the plants, the stool, the carpet, the cushion, the lamp, the books, the music, the cabinet, the pictures, the ornaments, the clock, etc., etc. They're just what they are. They're not disturbed. They're just there, existing in consciousness, modifications of consciousness, of light. Stop making small m me and small s self. Stop doing it. How does one stop doing it? By remembering the alternative, the great alternative, activating the faculty of attention and feeling. And then the body-mind becomes that more and more, more and more, more and more. Be consciousness. Be the witness. Be feeling attention. Be, simply be. then there's no alternative when you're there. I say when you are there, yes, there's no you to be there. Personality is made from the contraction. The contraction creates imagination, creates illusion, creates delusion, creates confusion and emotions. The body-mind must be allowed to live without contraction. As the plant is living there without contraction. We suffocate one another as well as suffocating yourself, your true self. Babies and toddlers are told, no, 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 more than yes, 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 yes. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. They should be told to make a mess. They should be told to scribble. They give them the freedom, yes, scribble away. Or let me give you this piece of paper, scribble on this. Taught to discriminate, but from a happy disposition. You see, there's no way you can teach someone unless you're happy with that person. Be happy. And the person being taught must be happy to receive. There's no way that's not conducive to learning. Mothers should be sitting down with their children, talking about things, talking like I did about the glass. It's so much we can talk about to a toddler. Look at that, look at that, look at that. When I taught children, I used to say, look at that. I used to say, if there's a squashed fly on the page, you should notice it on the music. You should notice it and play it. I taught them the relationships between us. I said, see that note there is one note higher than that note, or one step higher. And can you see that note's in a space, and that note's also in a space, missing out a line? You talk about what you see. Oh yes, I hadn't noticed that before. You're opening up the person, you're bringing their attention. It's just wonderful. Teaching them music, as is. Then I would relate that to the keyboard. I used to have this formula. I say, eyes. What did I say? See and understand. Play, hear. Is that what I said? It was a circle. Oh, heart first, the desire to play first, the desire to see, the desire to learn. And you see the note, you understand the note before you play the note. And then you hear the note, and then you can consider. There's this onward, continuous learning procedure. And I would also teach them not to be concerned about timing. Yes, of course, we understand that that note has to be played a little less. And that note has to be played a second on, or that note takes 2 seconds, and that note takes 1 second. You've got to learn the note journey first, and the finger journey first, before you include the timing. If you're learning to read music, it's different if you're playing from ear. So you learn the note journey first. You see the steps. You see the note relationships. It's all about seeing first, before doing. You see the door handle before you open the door. You see the glass before you reach out to pick it up. Isn't it marvelous? Isn't it a mystery? How does the hand know when to stop? This is the mystery of living as an open hand disposition. It's a mystery how things happen. How does that finger go to there? How does that finger go to there? How does it open, the hand open to grab hold of the, I'm sure there's people who are unable to do this because they have disabilities, but they learn to cope, they learn to manage. I had a lady here the other day, I do Airbnb, and she has a daughter who is disabled, but she's been disabled from birth, and the mother says she knows no different. That's how she is. She knows no different. I suppose it's better to be blind from birth than to be blind after some years, maybe. So it's activating, it's allowing the faculties to be unhampered, not to suffocate them. So mother might come in and say, don't do that, don't do that. And you say, mothers and fathers. Poor mothers. They get a lot of stick, don't they? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. So how is this all happening? How is it happening? How does it happen? There's no mind in it. I'm not saying I'm going to do that next or do that next. Or is there mind? How does it happen? How did I decide to, suddenly take my watch off or whatever? Is it me deciding? It's a mystery. Absolute mystery. What am I talking today? It's happiness. Be happy to share. Be happy to read to one another. Conform your body to God in the midst of whatever is arising physically. Whatever functions you are performing in any moment of functional activity, give it to me. Give your feeling attention to me. Capital M, me. Instead of struggling with any of the contents of the body-mind, no matter what is arising in the moment, you direct its functions, not its contents, its functions, the faculties to me, thereby recollecting the whole body-mind as feeling attention to me. That's Adidar, my teacher. Keep turning to me. Satsang. Jesus said, turn to me. Jesus said, love God first. It becomes one's second birth. It takes time to learn the piano. It takes time to learn to write. It takes time and practice to do all these things. It's the same with the second birth. It takes time, but always in the moment. You're not going to learn to write unless you write. Now do some writing. Now do some writing. Now do some writing. So with this practice of being already happy, it has to be practiced. Because we've got to counter this nonsense. It takes time, because the muscle has been doing this for years. So we've got to do the opposite, which is about giving your attention, your feeling attention, to that greater disposition called God, called real God, called happiness. As Ajahn says, called me. It's prior to the body-mind. Feeling attention. Away from this. Not to be a victim of it. To be a victim of the body-mind is a different destiny to the one I'm offering. God word. Happiness word. And once you're there, there's no destiny. You're there. You're at home. There's no more going. Do you love me? Do I love this glass? To be love isn't loving anything in particular. The spoon doesn't love the flour more than it loves the dessert in the bowl, or the rice that it picks up, or the water that it picks up. The spoon is indifferent. To be love is indifferent to whatever's arising. So I go out there and practice. I go out there and do the counter activity, feeling attention towards all that's arising. Good morning, chair. Good morning, television. Good morning, keyboard. Good morning, books. Good morning, tissues. Good morning, mess. Good morning, untidiness. Acknowledge it all. Practice. If you're doing some gardening, look at the plants. Talk to them. Be with them. Be with your shoes when you're tying them up. Be with your clothes as you put them on. Be with me. Be with the spittle as you spit it out when you clean your teeth. Be with it all. No separation. Be with the creases. Be with the lines. See it all. See the blemishes. Don't criticize it. Just see it and say, well, that's all it is. Oh, my fingernails are dirty. That's not a criticism. That's what I see. My fingernails are dirty. They need cleaning. I was digging yesterday. Will I clean them? Will I remember when I go into the bathroom to clean them? Because living like this is, you see before you do. Always. You see before you do. You're conscious. So I'm not seeing what's behind me. I can see that bit of a plant there. So before we do, we see. Simple as that. But don't add a contraction. Thank you for listening. Blessings.